The divine feminine is looking for mom. Everybody, every human soul has been designated with the term mom, mama, mother, because the divine mother of the omniverse is looking for mamas, looking for motherly caretakers, looking for nurturers, those who can nurture like a baby being fed at the breast. Can they feed from the heart? Can they feed from where they feel? Can they feed from where their energy centers meet in the middle? Everything from the crown, the third eye, the throat to the heart, and everything from the heart, solar plexus, sacral, and root. But the heart is the meeting place in the middle. That's the exchange. You could have two kundalinis, a double serpent. You can, since we're in Gemini, you can have the Gemini, you can have the twin cobras, and you can have both of them swimming in both directions from the heart, both fulfilling the crown and the root, Keter and Malkut at the same time, just going through the energy centers, making sure that with all of your ethereal knowledge, that it gets grounded in this physical 3D reality, that you're using all of your magical, mystical, manifestational properties and you're applying it to the real physical world and you're seeing real physical, tangible results. Your hands have handled the word of truth. The same word that was in the beginning, the same word that is called God, and the same word that is what it means to be God, to be a manifestation of a thought, of an ideal, of a realm, of a principle. And this principle that is the dominant energy now is the divine feminine, the mother. She's looking for the people draped in purple and scarlet. She's looking for the fine white linen or the fresh black linen. You can be a light mother or a dark mother. You could be a mother of the primordial energies who does his or her work in the higher realms, or you could be primarily white linened, somebody who's doing the bulk of their work on the ground level, like a person who serves the tables. They're not necessarily delivering messages, although they could have the wisdom of Stephen in the book of Acts. He had more wisdom than anything you could have possibly seen from any apostle, yet he was serving at the tables. His main groundwork was on the ground. He was mainly a white linened. Whereas you would have somebody like John the Revelator, who would probably be black linened, although he's credited with having written the revelation of Jesus Christ. He could still be considered black linened because nothing about John the Revelator was really known other than him being the disciple that Jesus loved. His dialogue and his piece in this was very mysterious, although he had 3 short letters to the body of believers and then one final letter in Revelation, culminating the 66 canonicals. Those mystical characters in any story who have sometimes very short mentions. Oh, also that same John the Revelator has a gospel also. And the gospel is very metaphysical, and it talks about a lot of oneness. More than any of the other gospels, probably more than any other book in the Bible, talks about God and the people being one and the same and being in and within one another. There's always this talk about a union that cannot be broken, but was expressed among the people in a very broken way because they didn't realize the truth. They didn't see the oneness, that we are what we think and we are what we do, and our life is what we think and what we do. And he said that over and over, using story after story after story after story, parable after parable, healing after healing, miracle after miracle. This is mama. This is motherly energy, because a father is not so demonstrative, so hands-on like that. He'll do it once or twice, and then he'll take his hands off to see if you can do it. A mother is more characterized by guiding you, and the one who holds your hands while you walk and show you how to take each step with you. When the father adopts this motherly energy, he would have the baby leading the baby by the hands while the baby learns how to walk, and even to the point of allowing the baby's feet to be on his feet. so they can step together, so the baby can feel what it feels like to step. This is what the caretaking motherly energy of the all-potent omniverse is looking for, gratifying, providing more light and energy to, and more source power through the divine feminine, the divine mother. She's looking for mama, looking for the mothers of society. And it's not gender-based. It's just a particular spirit of a caretaker. What kind of, do you have the kind of aura that people would be attracted to, that people are gravitating toward? Do you have the wisdom that is so tempered with self-control that you're validated as almost being more than human? These are divine motherly qualities. Do you have the care? Like I say in other videos, do you have the care? Do you have the attention to detail? Do you have the nurturing capacity? Do you have the attentiveness? Because that's a very strong divine motherly quality. Attentiveness. A mom who cares about her children is so attentive to that child. She knows the signals. She knows everything the baby's saying and communicating before the baby even knows how to talk. That comes from attentiveness. That comes from attentiveness. The patriarchal energies that dominated these last couple of eons, that was not. Where the masculine may have expressed itself in the care of details, it was more so number crunching and administrative duties. But it wasn't the attentiveness on a therapeutic scale. That wasn't what was being propagated to the masses as the role of male in these last few eons. It was more so of a conqueror, of a king, of a person who pursues, seeks, and procures power. These were more characteristic of man. And in this age, the reason why we see that being characteristic of women now is because the divine feminine is being elevated and being underlined and being identified for us to see. This is what the Me Too movement is about, far above the 3D realm. The Me Too is exactly what it needs to be. And we're not talking about just victim advocacy, but we're talking about Me Too, that the only rulers are not male. The only kings and the only lords of life are not male. God did not make humans male. He made humans male and female. In the beginning, he created the male and the female. Created he them. This doesn't just mean he created males and females. It means he created the human being as both male and female, spiritually androgynous, decidedly one or the other based on physical depiction, but androgynous in very X and Y chromosomed in the spiritual realm. This is why for anyone who sees apparitions, sees visions of beings from other realms, this is why they appear to be both at the same time. You would have men with long hair, and you would have these natures from these entities, whether they be light or dark, that are amalgamations of men, women, children, and animals, and objects, and places, all within a being, and light, all within a being, whether it's on the left or the right, whether it's in the light or the dark, whether it be an angel or a demon. These things are androgynous because in the spiritual etheric realms, those places become very sexless. They become very genderless. The only thing there is spirit and primordial thought. Those are the realms of the thought controllers, the thought formers, the thought sculptors, the thought precipitators, those who pass on the torch of thought, who allow the etheric influences to condense and rain down on reality And all of us down here, like blades of grass and like clumps of soil, we respond to the rain and we respond to it. We grow from it. We get nurtured from it. We drink it in. We are nourished and quenched thereby. All of this is motherly. The nurturing, the feeding, the making of the bottle, the changing of the diaper, making sure that the child can spell, making sure that the child enunciates, making sure that the child knows when to say please and thank you. We're still overall using the intentions of conquest, because although we're in the divine feminine, the divine masculine is not eliminated. So the purpose of conquest and conquering this life is still a mandate, sure, or rather an opportunity, rather an adventure. It is still there and it is still prevalent. But what the divine feminine adds is the details that help you win the battles that win the war. Not just to win the war, but win the battles that win the war. To handle the details, to make sure that the troops are set, to make sure that the ammo is checked, to make sure that all of the equipment is verified, and to make sure that there's a head count, and to make sure everybody stays in line, to make sure everyone is fed on time. What does Proverbs say of the virtuous woman? She stays up all night at the spindle. Her light does not go out by night. She is a merchant. She sells her cloths to the people. She keeps the people warm and she keeps the people clothed. And her children sprout and sit at the table like olive leaves. And her man is the respected leader of the city. Amongst the elders, he is respected. 1 in 1,000 have I found, but not one virtuous woman is what this proverb is saying. The divine mother is the call for human beings to step into this virtuous feminine motherly energy. To be virtuous, to be like a ruby, to be like wisdom, to be something that money can't even buy. When they look at you, when they hear you, when they see your countenance, when they scan your disposition, they see that you're something that money can't buy, that you really are an original. And the people really, from the heart, say mama when they see and feel you.